the message is really that you can make it happen, whatever it is that you're working on and you're working towards. That's why we start with maybe something that doesn't go in the basket and without giving away the words, and the next one goes into the basket. So it's aspirational. And I think the other part that I really like, you made fun of me in a good way in the studio about, I think this is your favorite part of the song. But it really talks about living and about the importance of life. And I think that you and I have had that conversation too, right? Like if we don't have health, if we don't have life, like we have nothing. I'm the host.
Yeah, I was like, you're interviewing me? I was like, let me make sure we're doing this right. Maybe I'm interviewing you, I don't know.
I think this is a collaboration. That's how I like to think of them.
Good.
I don't even think of interviews so much, but basically we had a day today. First of all, I got here yesterday.
Yep.
I flew into Ronald Reagan Airport, and then today we recorded for 2 hours.
If and when.
If and When is the name of the song, and it's going to be coming out very soon. And I guess we were just going to talk about our history, like kind of working together, and maybe dig in a little bit behind the inspiration of the song and what went into the process and all of that. So how did you think today went?
Oh man, I think today was amazing. As I said earlier, your professionalism, your attention to detail, your commitment, better than those that I work with that say they're professional or I do this day in and day out. I put out multiple releases. I don't think I've seen anyone work as hard as you worked. Now, guys, we did plan on doing this, well, potentially with some alternate timelines, but the fact that you were committed and like, yo, I can do this, Justin. I want to do this. I'm going to bust my behind to do this. I don't think I was ever short of like, I don't know if, he is, especially since it's the first time we met, because I think straight off the bat, you've owned like, yo, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have a coach. I've been working with my coach. I've been practicing every day. Like every step of the way, you have been a man of your word, if you will. So today, exciting. First time in the driver's seat or maybe the passenger seat as an A&R in a studio facility.
Right.
Working with the engineer Liam, who was great. So it was fun. I didn't have to do all the buttons and I could just talk.
You could direct me, basically.
Yes. So it was.
Like, remember when you did it that last time and it sounded this way? No,
exactly.
That was really
exactly.
I think that is the value of the in-person, right? We did so much of this remotely, and I would plug that to anybody, especially that they know what they're doing. But for this first song, where we were taking it from start to finish, from a written song to a recorded song, and there's a lot of steps in between. For that in person, I do think there's a huge value in being like 10 feet away from each other, right? So,
but thank God for technology. Session wire, to be able to have the quality that we had virtually. I mean, I already felt like I already knew you. I already felt very comfortable.
We stared at each other for hours.
I mean, and we probably had, maybe at least 4 or 5 sessions after the initial meet. So, I mean, we talked a lot in a short period of time to feel that comfortable.
Including today, at least like 10 hours together.
Yeah, for sure. So it's pretty dope. Like I'm really glad that you were able to come out and actually do this. To get that real live environment and allow me to do what I do best. And I think we got an amazing song for the people to hear, man.
Yeah. So I just want to talk a little bit about the song in general. Is like, so this year for me has been all about starting new and trusting my instincts. And so the first thing that I wanted to begin was the YouTube channel. Take some of the things that I've already learned and package them into videos that can maybe entertain or inspire or help other people. But this song is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, because we talked about this. I've been writing off and on for years. I had joined a men's chorus. I'd worked with the vocal coach before. I even worked with the producer on actually doing a song before, but this is the first one that I've taken from start to finish. So basically, the whole idea for the song came to me when I was in the car. I was
you were in the car.
4 days back from the Philippines, freshly inspired. You know, I'd been recording and writing other things. And so that's kind of where the car references in the song came from, because I was in the middle of driving.
Yeah.
And so the hook just kind of like came into my head. And then when I got to my destination, I started to write the verses, and I was just kind of in a roll. So I didn't want to stop until I had actually finished the song. And then
did you have music, or you just all lyrics and some melody, a little melody? Because if I remember correctly, when you sent it to me, it was some melody, but it wasn't a lot. Or you weren't as confident on the whole part of it.
it was the first melody
Okay.
that was the thing that came to me first.
Got you.
Because you're right, on the hook, I had a little bit. It was like just
Right,
a
right.
couple of keys.
Yeah.
And then you helped me make it great and like what it is today. When we got the dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
when we get that part, that's how we brought in that pre-hook
Yeah.
melody as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it
Okay.
was just a basic melody, a tiny bit for the chorus, a tiny bit for the verses. But that's usually how I will write the songs in the first draft, and then I'll work with you or somebody else like as we're making it better, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was cool to say.
Yeah, no, it is. And I think, for me, I think it's very interesting as a writer. Like, I quickly could tell that you write, right? I'm sure you're still figuring out your style and things of that nature, but I could tell it's there.
Yeah.
And so I think you should be just over the moon about the work that you put in, like the process, because that's the part that always gets me excited. That's why I love music, because like you said, out of nowhere in the car from a trip to the Philippines, you just wrote a song out of thin air.
Yeah.
And then you found me via LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And
I know, so random.
now we have a whole song that we recorded, invested time and money in, that soon the world will be able to hear. Like, that to me is just super profound. But I really like the fact that, you know, I guess my point here to say is that you don't have to be what I think everyone thinks you need to be when you're talking about creating music. The desire and the commitment was there for you. That's how we got this done.
You have to do your best, right?
Yes.
But to compare yourself to like everybody on the charts, or say that you have to have like so much vocal training to get there.
Yes.
Like, when, you know, let's be a little real. Like, is every song on the Hot 100, is every song top-notch vocals? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, so I think everybody's got to just trust, you know, their own style and their own process. But yeah, I mean, part of it was me and my good friend in the Philippines. Like, I had told her that I'd done some writing and I'd shared some different things with her, and she's like, oh my God, can we make a dance song? And I was like, yes. That was kind of the vibe going into it, because I feel like a lot of music that's coming out these days is like really heavy. Sometimes the topics and the content of it. And so I wanted something that was like aspirational and fun, but also the lyrics were like deeply personal and people could relate to in different situations, right?
And so Paul, so talk to me about, like, we know the moment came from the car after the Philippines, but talk to me where the message, I guess, behind this song comes from, especially being a mix of this, like, how did you put it? It was a mixture of genres, which now is, I think, a genre in itself, right? Everything is blended. So it's EDM, hip hop, pop.
It is.
It's kind of a record.
Yeah.
But where's the message come from for you for this?
Yeah, I think the message is really important. It's really aspirational to me. Like, it can be applied to any situation. Like, so for example, my YouTube channel or my song, or maybe a relationship or a friendship with another person, right? It's like the message is really that you can make it happen, whatever it is that you're working on and you're working towards. That's why we start with maybe something that doesn't go in the basket, and without giving away the words, and the next one goes into the basket. So it's aspirational, And I think the other part that I really like, you made fun of me in a good way in the studio about, I think this is your favorite part of the song. But it really talks about living and about the importance of life. And I think that you and I have had that conversation too, right? Like if we don't have health, if we don't have life, like we have nothing. So I think it's aspirational, but it also has like attitude and swagger. And I wanted to get, some singing in there, right? But I know I'm not, like Mr. like can go up this high, like wowing people on a stage. That's probably not ever going to be my style. But yeah, does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think, absolutely.
Yeah.
The process of how Paul and I got together, right? So I saw a post on LinkedIn about Paul looking for a producer to basically revamp a song.
Yeah.
And so, guys, I'll tell you that I don't know if I ever want to, I don't know if this is real, if this is somebody who's playing around. Like, you never really know. And that's not just like in terms of compensation, but just are these legit people that have a post, and this is going to be something that I can add to my catalog and hopefully build, a relationship.
Right.
So I was like, I'll do it. And I think you were pretty responsive for one, and we quickly just got on the horn. Like it was quick emails. We talked on the phone. I felt good energy. You felt good energy. And I think by the time you got off the phone, you had already been like, yes, I want to work with you. That's it. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, this is impressive. And then I would just kind of fast forward to actually our first session via Session Wire, which is my virtual studio. And
works beautifully, by the way.
Yes, I love it. Shout out to them again. Guys, creatives, whatever you do, I think it's a great platform for anything, especially doing video work and then in whatever case of audio. But yeah, so typically when I do something like this, I'm like, all right, I'm not here to say that I'm the best producer. I'm not here to say that I'm gonna make a beat in 5 minutes. Nah. Sometimes that has happened for me, sometimes it has not. And so I know it's a little like intense when you're making a beat in front of a client, right? Staring in front of you, like, all right, But I went in, you were pretty, relaxed and just eager to start.
Yeah.
And I think so my method is usually like, look, I'm gonna take time to make whatever kind of vibe that you required and requested, and I'll just kind of move quickly. If I vibe with it, we can spend time on it.
Yeah.
If I kind of get stuck or don't know really what to do, we'll just move on. That's pretty much how I operate.
Yeah.
And I just remember this being so I think we had a day in between, and I spent some time on one beat, and I didn't really like it.
Not the one we used.
Yeah, no, it's not the one that we used. It was something else that I was just like, well, let me just get a. No.
You're like, yeah, I gave you that one.
Yeah. So I was like, when we actually had our session, I told you that, and I was like, I don't feel too confident about it, so I'm not gonna play it for you. So we'll just do, and that's the one that we end up going with.
Yeah.
But it was so strong.
Yeah.
And I could see you like, oh my gosh, like I really like this, and then you're like, I can see you processing like, I don't know where it's going, but I'm like really liking what we got. Like, okay, right. And then I pulled the plug to say, okay, I'm gonna go on to a different one because I'm kind of stumped. Let's go on to something else. So I go to one, and it's like, okay, we go to another one. It's like, and then you're like, Justin, I really like beat number one. Like, can we go back to that? And I was like, yeah, let's go back to it.
Yeah.
And I think from that point on, I felt more confident. Like, yo, this really might work. And then when you actually did the vocals, it was like, oh, this I don't know, this kind of, and then it just flourished from there. So it was pretty dope to be in this environment again, to make something that someone else wants. And I'll just be honest, most people are probably not gonna talk about it, but it is nerve-wracking to like, okay, I gotta make something for someone, like he's paying for it, like I wanna give my all, and I want him to enjoy it, and I think each day you loved it more and more and more. Each time you would do a reference track for me to see like where you were, I could tell you felt more confident. I found myself singing the melodies. Like, it just really evolved into something that I really think expanded me, my experience, and then just my skill set as a producer.
Yeah, man.
So.
And I think it was collaborative from the beginning because you were kind of helping to come up with that beat based on the melody that I had already written. And then, you know, as we both kind of agreed to that break at the end, the yoga dance breakdown, I think, and the way the vocals come in there, I think it's so beautiful.
His idea, addition, all to you.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's very I feel like this whole experience was very collaborative, because like I had the base of the lyrics, but you had some really good ideas, including some hilarious ad-libs that you guys will hear. But just going back to the whole LinkedIn thing, yeah, I mean, I posted that like right after I finished writing the song, right after that car trip that inspired it, because my whole thing was like, if I write this song and I don't move on it right away, it'll never get created. It'll just sit there and nothing will ever happen with it. So I was like, this is why we gotta go now. And I did get a ton of responses to that post. Yours was the first one, and yours was crazy. And yours was the only one that I even like, you know, because I feel like with stuff like that, you just sometimes know, like, because I liked your music and then we talked and it was a vibe. So it worked out. Everything happens, I think, in its own timing and, you know, with the right people. So yeah, a great process.
Looking forward to doing more, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I feel like now we could even move faster. You know what I would love to do? This is just a fantasy. I don't have the budget for it, but I would love to just like get all the ones that I want to do ready and like go book a studio in like Jamaica or something for like 3 days or a week and just get it all done in like one week. Yeah.
It's coming, man. It's coming.
Yeah.
Just like I want a beach house. Shout out to Wilmington, North Carolina. That's where I went to high school.
Nice.
That's where Michael Jordan grew up and all of that, in case people like really need to know. But, you know, instead of like a beach house in Cali or somewhere, Wilmington is perfect. But my dream is to have a beach house. That's my studio. So when I'm working on a project or specifically working with someone that's doing a full length or maybe even an EP, or, you know, maybe I'm just there for the summer. Yeah. And I, you know, meet a client or someone, but I love the water. I'm a Pisces. So, you know what I mean? I know waking up to water is just a rush of creativity. Yeah. Just like it is when you're in the car. I've written a lot of songs in the car. Yeah. Listening to beats and then all of a sudden it comes to me. So I think there's truth to movement. For real. And flow and like stuff like that.
Around is when I'm more inspired.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah. And I will say this, I definitely want you to share this testimony of being collaborative, because at A&R in Your Pocket Services is definitely all about collaboration, making the artists involved as much as they want to be involved. And I have to say, again, I don't know, it could be hit or miss, 50-50, where some artists want to, the others are just like, just make the beat that I want, and I'll tell you if I like it or not. They don't want to be as involved. Yeah. But I love it when artists really add their intuition, their thoughts, their everything. You don't have to play an instrument. You don't have to even know what the hell is going on. Yeah. But just be confident, and you were every bit of that. But that, I think, to me, that made it more of an experience for you, which is why I work this way. And then it challenged me, you know, to dig deeper, to try, you know, do whatever it is to get something that we both now really like I said earlier. I think this could really be a sleeper song if you know, I know nothing's guaranteed on anything in terms of streams, people liking it, whatever, but I know we're gonna do our due justice and the plans that you have. I really think this is gonna be in people's head more than they think, man. So I'm looking forward to it.
That is amazing. Well, I just want to say this whole experience was awesome. To work with you and build a new relationship, and I think that there's good things to come in our futures.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. If it wins.
Awesome, man.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah, you too.